Ladies and gentlemen, how do you do? I'm your host, Young, Bo, Easy, and I would like to welcome you to the Knicks Vibes, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we're here for. We're here to talk some more Knicks. All right, great game today. Pistons at home facing none other than our beloved Knicks. 117-104. Uh, and we did what we had to do, man. You know what I'm saying? On the road once again, constantly going into other people's crib and just doing what we gotta do. All right. And I believe the record right now on the road is 15-8. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are handling business. All right. None other. There's nothing more you can say about that. All right. So before I get into everything, I just want to say like, comment, subscribe, share with your peoples, man. I'm truly grateful for you new subscribers, man. I hope you continue to tune in for the longevity of the show and things of that nature. I took a few games off for personal reasons. But yeah, man, let's just get into this game because it's enough to talk about. All right, we're gonna start off with the stats first, and I want to give respect immediately to the Pistons. They got a great young core there. Uh, and even though they had some injuries, they played a good game. You know what I'm saying? There's just a lot of fight that this team has, and you got to just put some respect on it, honestly. So to start off with the stats, I'm going to start on the Pistons side of things. 11, 6, and 3 from Isaiah Livers. Sadiq Bey, one of my favorite young guys, especially on the Detroit Pistons, but in the league in general. 21, 6, and 1. Uh, 21, 6 and 6 for Jaden Ivey. Played a great game today. That's complete stats. That's what you like to see from a young player like that. And you can see that there's possibly some triple doubles in his future for sure. 9, 2, and 9 for Killian Hayes. Alec Burks definitely holding it down for them at a certain moment, but we had to cut off the circulation on that. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's always good to see him, man. Consistent guy. 21 minutes, 14, 3, and 2. And Kevin Knox, man, I'm very very happy for Kevin Knox. Another dude, 19 minutes, 16 points, and a rebound to add on to that. Um, Kevin Knox has been doing his thing, so that's another dude I'm happy for. You know, they did a couple trades with us, so to see these guys is always good, and to see them constantly, the consistency of Alec Burks continue as that great six man that we know he can be is valid. And Kevin Knox to be improving with a shot that a lot of teams didn't give him. I can't say necessarily a lot of teams, but us and the Hawks didn't necessarily give him is very very good to see. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna jump into the side of the Knicks. RJ Barrett today, 27 minutes, 13, 2 and 2, 4, 12, 4 and 12 for Mitchell Robinson, 27, 5 and 4 for Jalen Brunson, 11, 4 and 3 for Quentin Grimes, 17, 3 and 3 for Emmanuel Quickly. All right, and that's pretty much the end of the sexy stats there. Uh, Great game overall, man. We did what we had to do. It was pretty much even keeled as far as like the field goal percentages go, and because it's 45% from the field, both teams. 40% for us from the three-point line to their 41%. And both teams pretty much shot 80% from the free throw line. Literally, we shot 81, they shot 80. The difference there is some turnovers, and we just outboarded them. So the amount of shots that we got was different than, I wouldn't say it's too much of a disparity, but uh, they shot good, but it just doesn't show 100% when you look at the score. All right, 52 rebounds, man. 18 of them offensive. We killing on the boards once more. Uh, they had 23 dimes, but that didn't really help them much, man. And I think we thrived at the free throw line today, taking 31 free throws, man, and 20 and knocked down 25 of them. Uh, that's a good clip, to only miss 6 free throws out of 31. I think that's a good clip, ladies and gentlemen. So, what we got to talk about next, man, if you pay attention to this segment or the show in general, you already know what this next segment is, man. Ladies and gentlemen, easy star to show Julius Randle. 42 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, 15 for 24 from the field, shooting 62.5%, 4 for 7 from deep. Listen, man, this guy? He's an all-star. This guy is an all-star, and I don't know. There's a opportunity for him getting snubbed, and I really hope that does not come to fruition because there's a lot of forwards in the East, man. And the votes, uh, us being Knicks fans, obviously we're gonna be biased or whatnot, but there's a lot of star-studded names as far as forwards go. You got guys like Zach LaVine, although I don't feel like Zach is playing over Randall right now. Um, it's just this dude needs to be in the All-Star game, man. He came through after the season that he had, bounced back and is in rare form. And it's something that I also want to discuss on the next segment of the show, but you just got to put respect on this man's name, man. He went through a lot with everything that was going on last season, got a mouthful from everybody, pause, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody and their mama was throwing shots at him, me included. I didn't want anything to do with this guy. Uh, and even long term, it's just I even said that I don't care what you do this season. It's it's somebody that has to go. But this dude is just balling out, man. And even if that still holds some weight, that statement that I said before, it's this dude is just literally balling out, man. Setting records left to right. First dude since 1996, man, to Patrick Ewing to score 40 points and have 15 rebounds in the game. And in the last 2 or 3 games, he also had 16 rebound games with like 30 points, I believe. This dude is he's just balling out, man. It's not too many bad things you could say about this guy. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, easy star of the show. Julius Randle, 42 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, 15 for 24 from the field, 4 for 7 from deep. And he was also 8 for 8 from the free throw line, a spot that he's been struggling for some games. Uh, Cleaned up nice today, man. Against the Detroit Pistons, he's also averaging 25 plus points, and this just kicked it up a little more. So, hey, man, what can you what can you say? You can't really say nothing bad about this dude right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take it into the next segment of the show. You already know what the vibes is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, takeaways. We're gonna stick to this whole Randall thing right now, man. And my question is there more? We seen the most improved player campaign that he had in 2021, 2020 to 2021, with the COVID season is what a lot of people like to call it, and him winning the most improved player. We had ourselves a season, you know. I thought we was going sweet. You know what I mean? Derrick Rose was a Six Man of the Year candidate. Tibbs won Coach of the Year, and then most improved player for Jules. Hey man, I wanted us to sweep it, but I believe Jordan Clarkson came through with that year, and you can't complain about that. But let's focus on this, ladies and gentlemen. Is there more? Julius Randle is looking like a number one option right now. Look, like the way he's playing, the numbers he's getting is number one. Like you have, and it switches between him and Brunson, which is something I'm gonna add, to the last takeaway. Um, but right now he's looking like number one. He got a lot of people eating their words, man, and it is what it is. But is there more? Is there more? This dude should probably be getting an MVP voted too this year. Like that's how good he's playing. I'm not too sure what the stats is at 100%. But I believe he's around like 24, 25 points with like I want to say 12 boards. I'm not too sure. That's something I gotta look up, man. And he's just still getting that 20 around that 2010 and 5 type feeling. Anytime you're doing that, man, you could be in consideration for something like an MVP. We're worried about him getting an All-Star nod, of course, but he's doing so much more than that as far as the New York Knicks as a whole and the campaign that we've been putting together this year. All right. So that's the question, man. Is there more? Like, is there another level that Julius Randle can go? Because you got to think about it, this dude is only 27 years old, I believe, and he's technically in his prime. His prime is just technically started. And is there more to what this guy can do? Because he also had one turnover this game. That's another part of his game that was a struggle for him. He was averaging three turnovers damn near at a certain point with the Knicks, I believe, in his first season. Uh, so he's cleaning up his act in a lot of areas, and it's just what more can this guy do? Like, it's the Knicks got themselves something beautiful. It's a really, really sticky situation, man, and that's something that I'm going to discuss with the next takeaway. So let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the pride of New York. We got a team that we could be proud of, no matter how this thing is ending. We passed the first, half of the season. This is a team to be proud of. They playing very, very consistent defense, uh, holding teams under their normal averages. Uh, Mitch is having possibly his best season of his career. Quentin Grimes just came through and showed why people were so reluctant to trade him. RJ Barrett is, just coming back from the injury, but kicked it up. Had the slow start that he normally had, but then kicked it up also. Um, you got three dudes in range of 20 points per game, and this is like, I don't know how many other teams are doing this. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things to be proud of as far as this New York team, and we haven't seen a team like this in very, very long. So we're with this campaign, and there's still. Let's just combine the third takeaway, ladies and gentlemen. Next takeaway is Swiss cheese, and if you're a New York Knicks fan, you know what this means. Normally, Clyde Frazier uses it as far as defense when he says Swiss cheese defense, which technically means there's some holes in the defense. All right, but right now we're not talking about the defense. The defense is playing great and all that stuff. Right now, we're just saying there's holes as far as the team goes, uh, roster wise. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy because we still playing great basketball. I believe we're 5 or 6 games over 500 at this moment. Uh, 6 games over 500, 25 and 19. We are 6 seed, and we've been at that 6 seed very consistently this season. We've rarely budged from that. We went down maybe 8th seed for a game or two, and then came right back up. Um, so that's with this team only having one scorer off the bench right now at this moment. Uh, right now, Obi Toppin hasn't been giving us anything. Hartenstein gave 3 points today in this game specifically. Uh, you could say Obi's coming back from the injury and things of that nature, but as a whole, ever since there's been some injuries and dudes had to start moving up and some guys lost their spot, we haven't had the normal energy from the bench that we normally do have. Now, is it because Tibbs feels a way about taking a guy like Evan Fournier out the starting lineup and putting him to the bench so you don't play him at all? You know what I'm saying? When you could just be using him for the bench, but at the same time, you don't want to compromise yourself defensively. Do you feel that bad about giving a guy 12 to 15 minutes? Yeah, even 15 minutes is kind of a stretch because guys plays heavy minutes with this thing. But we're playing this well, and we have holes in our roster. We have one dude who's really just killing. And a takeaway that I had before Tibbs literally had the post-game interview was, am I overthinking it? Because today, RJ Barrett had 27 minutes. And the last game, he had 32 minutes. So I know he's coming back from his injury, but this is only a lacerated finger we're talking about. This isn't like some a sprained ankle or something like that. So I'm just like, what's going on? I know he was heavy on trying to give quickly more minutes. But right now, the person who's taking the brunt of that is RJ Barrett, and his minutes have been a little limited than usual. I'm not complaining. I like to see the good disparity in minutes, but when it's coming from the main guy who's out there on the field outside of Julius Randle, I was kind of concerned, but he answered that, and it was just the way that the game was going. He felt like IQ and Grimes was better out there than RJ. Uh, so that answered that. We still got some holes in our game. I would like to see, a guy like Jared Culver just was waived. This is somebody that you could pick up who plays both sides of the ball. So we just need to make some moves or some signings to, I don't know, man. We just got because eventually if we got a 6 seed campaign going on and there is no bench, what could we do? You know what I'm saying? If we got guys that could actually come off the bench, help quickly with a great spark and knock down some threes for us and play some aggressive defense and help the guys in the starting lineup rest a little bit, what could this team become? You know what I'm saying? You got Cleveland ahead of us right now, and I feel like that's a spot we could possibly slide into, especially with the games that we got coming up. We should definitely capitalize on. The last time that I was on, I was calling a streak because we had just finished playing the Pacers, uh, Wizards, and then now the Pistons. We got the Raptors, we got Wizards again, we got the Hawks, and then the Raptors. So these are a couple games that we could win before we see the Cavs, Celtics, Knicks, and Lakers. All right, four tough teams right there. So I feel like this next these next couple of games, we got to capitalize on. But at the same time, we still got to figure out what we're going to do with this bench lineup because when it becomes playoff time and this team is looking like a solid playoff team right now, we're going to need more ammo. All right, if we could uh, rest our guys just a little bit before that playoff time comes, because I don't. I'm not gonna sit there and be mad at Tibbs if he wants to play guys heavy minutes from the starters. Cool, that's not a problem. Um, but that second unit, man, before we need to get some aggressive scoring and aggressive defense coming off that second unit to finish the season at least. All right, so the guys could be getting a little bit of rest, especially if we solidify a top 6 seed. All right. Last takeaway, ladies and gentlemen, is business as usual. Pretty much something I discussed at the beginning of the show. We handling these road games. We just need to hold it down on the home court, and I believe right now we're 500 at the home court, 11-11. Uh, so we just need to hold it down both sides. And I feel like that's kind of inevitable when you got a game like that. I'm sorry, not a game like that. A crowd like that charging you up. It's almost inevitable you're gonna have to play up to that level because they gassing you. But at the same time, it's something I discussed in earlier shows. Home games at MSG ain't necessarily a home game all the time because everybody wants to play there. Everybody is coming to show out. All right, but we just gotta continue playing that defense that we playing and ball out, man. Do what we gotta do. And once we get it to a point where we handle business at home like we're doing on the road, it's nothing you could really tell this team, man. So we playing great basketball, and we still have holes in our situation. Uh, so hey, this is what we need to do. I think if we get that bench back to a level that we were pretty much for the last 2 years, because we were, I believe, top benches in the past 2 seasons. It doesn't seem like Derrick Rose is going to be implemented into this. It seems like they're trying to find a trade. Although I feel like we should be worrying about what the team wants, they're more worried about right now. That's Tibbs' son. But they're more worried about what fits for him, and I'm not mad at that. I don't want D Rose playing for no, uh, you know, bottom of the East or West team as his career comes to a close. I think this guy should be competing just in general. I'm not gonna say for a championship. He just should be competing in general. Cam Reddish, we know that situation. There's a lot of people would think there's no reason why he shouldn't be on the court, but he's not. And you got guys like Fournier. What's the market for these guys? Uh, but we need to do something. All right. The least we could do is if we can't get some trades going, we could at least sign some guys. I know there's some people out there in free agency that look good. I just mentioned a Jerry Culver who plays two sides of the ball. Um, and then once it comes playoff time, some dudes are a little well rested, and hopefully we still win the games at this pace. But I think we pretty good, man. If we could win this next set of games that I just listed off, and then at least compete with these guys and possibly win against whether the Nets or the Cavs. I think we could take the Cavs game. Um, things like that. So it's just we got to start competing against these top of the East teams. We did that against Milwaukee and then dropped it off literally in the last quarter, and I think we did that twice this season. But all in all, man, this is a good season so far. We passed the midway, and it's not too much bad you could say, man. I think this is one of the few shows that I didn't go too deep into the negative side of things, man. I'm just keeping it real as far as what we need to do to move forward, man. It's just looking beautiful, all right? The light is at the end of the tunnel, man. We looking like a solid playoff team, and we're doing it the right way. But at the same time, it's like where do you go? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Randall is playing good. RJ's playing good. Brunson's playing good. Obviously, Brunson is not someone who's going to be in these trade talks. Obviously, Randall and Barry, but it's as far as the future. What do you thinking? It's going to be hard to trade these guys when they still playing this good. So you can only trade up now. But with nobody in the market, necessarily coming to the free agent, it's just I don't know. But let's focus on this season, man. One thing at a time. The Knicks are playing really, really well right now, man. 25 and 19, if what I'm looking at right now is updated. But hey, man, to be this many games over 500, it's a good feeling. Six seed, solid defense, man, and we have officially attained reliable basketball. Like we have reliable players. Pardon me if the laughs are coming in. I don't think the mic is picking those up, but if you can't hear it, please apologies. But uh, we have reached a point where it's reliable basketball all around, and uh, RJ's shot selection is very much cleaned up. Jalen Brunson is one of the most dependable guys in the league at this point, and Julius Randle, man, like I just I don't said enough about this guy already, man, and he deserves to be an all-star for sure. So we have reached the point where we got reliable guys, and we just need to add to that second unit to be explosive. And who knows, maybe climb the ladder even more as far as these standings go. What I will say is, man, being the sixth seed, we if the playoffs were to start today, we go against the 3 seed Milwaukee Bucks. Now I do like this matchup, and we were the one who gave away 2 leads. I'm not gonna say we would win this matchup, but I like this matchup. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I'm gonna say. All right, who knows if it's gonna stay like that? I feel like we also match up well with Boston. The only people who really strike a fear into me is the ones who I feel are technically supposed to, and it's the Brooklyn Nets and it's Philadelphia 76ers with a healthy James Harden. Uh, Other than that, I feel like nobody else has the power to sweep us besides those 2 teams if everybody's healthy. But those teams need to be healthy. There needs to be a healthy KD. There needs to be a healthy Kyrie, and the same for Embiid and Harden. But you already know what I've been saying, man. It's like if you ain't got your stars, don't pull up over here without your stars. We're gonna clean you up. You understand? Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what the vibes is. That's the end of my spiel, man. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Love, gratitude, positive attitude, and you already know I am your host, Young Bo Easy. You've been tuned into the next vibes, ladies and gentlemen. Next game is tomorrow. Got it back to back. And I should be here to give you my spiel on that game right after that also. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you on the next one.